Hello everybody, Incon here, and we are talking about, guys, a new support build that I have been running. So I've been trying to work on getting more and more of a build that I'm feeling comfortable with as we get closer and closer here to the competitive season. It's starting up in, I think, just a couple of weeks now, so we're getting really right up to the wall of time that we got to get basically our stuff together. We had been running the Jigs build beforehand. We had really been liking it. We've been testing with a lot of different stuff. And so basically, I was trying so many things, and I kind of liked everything, so it was hard. And you're seeing a ton of different builds in SPL right now. I mean, obviously SPL hasn't started, but if you watch the Epsilon Invitational at all, you saw so many builds and so many variations. And so I'm going to talk specifically here about actually a selfish build. This build does not include two very key items that you would think about on support, which is Sovereignty and Heartward. The reason being is that while both those items are okay, neither of them are like best case scenario for you as a support player. And so the theory of this build basically is if you're alive, then you're keeping your team alive. You're peeling for them, you're body blocking for them, you're initiating for them, etc. 20 protections is nice, but it's certainly not the end-all be-all for items, and they're not going to just die all the time because they don't have 20 protections. So I've actually been liking this build a lot. I've been running it in scrims. It's going to look a little bit weird, not crazy weird, but there's definitely going to be an item or two you're going to be like, that's kind of weird. Credit to this build to Dukesloth. I went up to Dukesloth. I was like, yo, give me a mathematical build, and I'll be testing out some of them, and we tested out some of the builds. And this was the best math build that we could find that statistically is the best build you will for doing a lot of stuff. So, started right off, nothing crazy here. You're getting your Watcher's Gift because Watcher's Gift is way too strong of a starter item to not get. And you're going to grab your Boots 1. And then, of course, you're going to get your Health Potions and your Multi-Potions. By Multi-Potions, I mean Mana Potions. Totally standard start, nothing crazy there, right? As far as actives go, you're either getting Shell or Meditation or Sprint or Wrath. Those are basically your 4 active choices. You could also go Weakening Curse. That's the very aggressive option. But for the most part, you're going to lean towards Shell. If you're not going towards Shell, it's Meditation, then Sprint, then Wrath. I kind of put this in order of what you're going to be looking at. Shell is by far the best teamfight active at the start of the game mathematically. It is way better than Meditation. Its effective HP when you do the protections and percentage reduction during a team fight is way more, especially early game, than Meditation is going to give you in health and mana. Now, Meditation, of course, gives you mana, which you can use more abilities, which is nice. But as far as just, I'm in a team fight, I don't want my team to die, Shell is way the best active. Like, it's not even close. So, Shell is your one active you want to be getting. Of course, you have strategies. You can be getting Sprint and Wrath as well. But for the most part, you're going to be getting Shell, and then Meditation is Shell, and then Sprint as your actives. Okay? That's not what we're going to spend that much time on. That's not the important thing, but literally, Shell is mathematically ridiculously good. So now we're going to start getting into the core of the build, which is basically the start of the build, even though it says core. And I have been really liking still, guys, the Tier 2 Adventurer's Blade. 150 health, 10% movement speed. The attack speed is pretty irrelevant on most of the supports you're going to be playing. For essentially the same price as Boots, you're going to be getting that 150 health. It's super nice. And you're going to put this into a Winged Blade pretty soon, but not right now. Mathematically, you want to start working on the next part of your build. The reason why I like the Adventurer's Blade over getting Boots is because of the fact that it doesn't stop at 1150 gold. When you bring it up to that Wing Blade, it really becomes a lot better than Boots. The only boot exception I would make is Talaria Boots. Talaria Boots do give you that extra gold. The out-of-combat movement speed can give you very strong rotational speed. And so if you're not going to go this Adventurer's Blade, I'd recommend going Talaria Boots. But I do recommend this Adventurer's Blade. Very, very strong. And then you put it into a Wing Blade. Everybody's got slows right now. Nemesis is super in the meta right now. And so you're going to think to yourself, you're only 2% shy on movement speed from not getting Boots. So Boots give you the 6%. plus you get 12%, which would bring you to 18, right, for tier 3 boots. But with your 6% plus this 10%, you're only 2% short. And plus, when you need it most is going to be when you're slowed, and you're going to have increased movement speed then. So you're actually going to be faster than people in most cases when you actually need it. Our next item, we're going into Urchin. Very similar to the builds that we have been running. Height of the Urchin is just going to be your best item basically in the game for the price. It's only 2,400 gold. You want to get it fairly early. As a support, you can get it around 10 to 12 minutes, give or take what you're looking at. You get it early so you can get the passive stacks on. This item gives 65 magical physical protection at max rank, plus 250 health, plus a mana to help out with your mana consumption. There's absolutely no reason that this is not the most important item for you as a support right now. It helps you initiate, it helps you do everything you could possibly need to on support. There's no argument you can make to not get this item with how cheap it is. Plus, of course, you need to get it early so you can get the stacks on so it becomes more and more effective as the game goes on. So, that's been pretty standard right here. This has been basically what we've been running for a long time. And then the build starts to evolve a little bit and starts to get a little bit different. So right now, you actually have a lot of hit points. Watcher's Gift gives you 100. Adventurer's Blade gives you 150. Urchin gives you 250. Now, after you finish your Height of the Urchin, you're going to go back and finish your Wing Blade, okay? You're going to go back and finish your Wing Blade. It's very cheap. It's only 700 gold to finish up Wing Blade. You get the CCR from it, you get the passive, and you get the health, okay? You do not want to finish Wing Blade before Urchin. It's not worth it. Urchin, then go back and finish your Wing Blade, okay? Look at this. We're not getting like 87 tier 1 items. We only had a couple. So that's going to be the core portion of your build. Once you have this finished, you're actually going to find that you're quite tanky. Now that you've got this finished up, you're going to start working into your next item. You already have so much health that you actually don't need any more right now, and you're going to go right into Spirit Robe. Spirit Robe, once again, is going to give you physical and magical protection, so you're working on both fronts at the same time, okay? You're getting both of those covered. You're going to get a little bit of cooldown reduction, which is nice, and it's actually going to start factoring in even more. We're going to get a lot of little cooldown items in this build. Plus, you're going to finish off your CCR right as you're getting into the heavy teamfight portion of the game. When you finish this item, that should really be when you're getting into the massive team fights. You're looking for initiations all the time. You're getting initiated on, etc. So you're going to have your 40% CCR fairly quick. Plus the Spirit Robe passive with that percentage damage mitigation. Especially if you combine it with a shell, is going to be unheard of. And you're going to be real tanky right now, guys. You're going to be real tanky at this point, and you can abuse how tanky you are. Your positioning isn't quite as important. You can be a little bit more lenient. So, the big thing you have to know right now, you don't have Sav, you don't have Hardware. You don't have the two support items. As of right now, they may not be strong enough to really work on getting, and that's why we're running this build, and you're going to get yourself way tankier than you are with the Sav Heartwood. So you're going to be able to be a lot more aggressive, a lot more in their face with this build than you would be with the Heartwood and Sovereignty. So, our next item is where it gets really weird, okay? Our next item, I'm not going to say, it's not really weird, but it's going to be an unstandard item that I've been running a lot because it is very strong. It is the most mathematically efficient item, assuming you get one kill. And that is going to be, not you, but you. Mail of Renewal, guys. Only 2,250 gold. Very cheap, recently getting price reductions. You get 400 health, which is huge. A massive amount of health. You're going to get cooldown reduction, so now you've got 20% with your Spirit Robe, which is awesome. You get a little bit of HP 5, which is actually nice, plus the passive, which is absurd. 15% health and mana over the next 5 seconds. This procs on towers, this procs on gods, it procs on a lot. It's very, very effective for pushing down towers because you kill a tower when you start regenning. You get one kill in the team fight, and this item becomes ridiculously effective. Like, ridiculously effective once you start getting that 50%. If you get any more than one kill in the fight for your team, or you get more than one objective, this item is just paying for itself out the wazoo. And combined with all your other health, you've got an absurd amount of health now. So at this point, you've probably sold your Watcher's Gift. You've got 4 items that are super core right now. And you're going to finish up with none other than the late game item itself, Mantle of Discord. So you have the health of Mail of Renewal again, so you can go back to just getting physical magical defenses. In with the 60 physical magical defenses, plus you get the cooldown reduction. So this build actually has 35%, guys. 35% cooldown reduction in it, which is awesome. Of course, everybody knows how strong the Mantle of Discord passive is. So this is going to give you a lot. I mean a lot of defenses. It's going to give you a lot of health, guys. So right now, you're looking at the last one of your build. You've got your shoes, and you've got your Wing Blade, Urchin, Spirit Robe, Mail of Renewal, Discord, okay? You have a couple options here. You can either finish up shoes if you really want to. I'm not a huge fan of finishing up shoes. I don't think it's best case scenario for you. You can actually get rid of shoes completely and just run the Wing Blade. That can be a little risky. Me personally, I love throwing in a Ritual Dagger here at the end. It gives you that last 5% of the cooldown reduction that you're missing. You overcap your cooldown by 5%. Oh no, not overcapping 5% on cooldown. It's the end of the world. Who cares? You get 200 health. That's super nice. The attack speed is irrelevant. The movement speed, now you've got 20% movement speed plus the Wing Blade passive. And now you have the passive for relics. If you went shell and sprint, well, congratulations. You're in the very late game stages of the game. And now your actives are lasting an extra 2.5 seconds, which is going to be a huge impact on a team fight. If you really don't want to do this, guys, you can go back to your shoes, finish it up with something, get yourself Shoes of Focus. You overcap by 5% on CDR. Who cares? Get yourself a little bit of pen with Shoes of the Magi. You do have options. If you're one of the more healing-oriented classes, there's actually a great item you can go here. You can go ahead and pick up Rod of Asclepius. Say that you're Terra. You're Terra at the end stages of the game. Picking up Rod of Asclepius is actually not a bad move to go. You get the health, you get the movement speed, and you get the sweet aura for your team. Something to consider if you are one of those healing gods, Sylvanas, Terra, stuff like that. It actually could be very helpful for your team. Obviously on Athena, this is not what you're looking for, but that can be a great situational item because it does give that movement speed, which is going to be very helpful for you. Obviously, you're not getting Fatalis. But guys, that is the new build. This is the new build that I am running, and you can test it for yourself. Yes, it is selfish. Yes, if you're playing casual queues, your team might yell at you because they're like, that's not a support build. I play support and I build sovereignty, and that's what I know, and that's what you should be doing. I hate change. But this build is going to make you way tankier as a support. Your team really doesn't suffer that much, guys, especially if you get a Ritual Dagger, so they have an extra 2.5 seconds of shell. Believe me, they're not going to be noticing the 20 missing protections when they've got an extra 45 protections of each, plus 15% reduction for an extra 2.5 seconds. That's going to be a way bigger deal in teamfight than anything else. This is a very strong build. You get very tanky, very fast, very gold efficient, very strong, lots of cooldown for lots of initiations. I like this on every single god that I've been running on support. Even the damage-oriented gods is great because, like Bacchus, yeah, it doesn't have pen or anything, but you can flop all the time, which is such a strong capability to be able to do that. Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a twitching day, yo. It's the final countdown. Ba-da-ba-boo. Ba-da-ba-ba-boo. Ba-da-ba-boo. The final countdown.